Hello and welcome to an album a day, going through my vinyl collection. I realize this is a little bit later today. I was expecting an album to arrive that I was going to cover, and the post office here in Tulsa so far has not been impressive. This is the third package that has been messed up, and it's a little concerning. But I do have another album for you instead. We're talking about the 1982 album. And boy, that really makes me wonder that specific year. But the 1982 album by Buckner and Garcia, pretty much the only thing they ever did, Pac-Man Fever. We're talking about the video game album that, boy, I wanted more. I wanted more of this. This is an original 1982 pressing from Columbia in very, very good condition. But the back of the album cover has the lyrics to just one song. Oh, no, actually it doesn't. It's actually just all the production. I thought it was lyrics, but no, it's just the information on like who owns what video game and all that good stuff, producer credits and that. But it's a beautiful shot of the actual game, just a reverse of the front cover. But there are prizes inside that are, well, there's one anyway, and it's very cool. And I'm glad that my copy has this because, you know, as these little treasures that they added as copies get older and different people handle them and they take them out and they don't put them back, or, you know, they get damaged or whatever. This is actually the patterns for some of the different screens in Pac-Man, all the way from cherries up through the 9th key, and then you're just screwed. You couldn't do that with Miss Pac-Man, though, because Miss Pac-Man had several different screens that were repeated, but the ghosts moved differently when the screens repeated. It was like a new screen with the same looking board. So I don't know if the same patterns would work. They didn't when I tried it anyway. But very, very cool release. All the songs are about different video games. And the reason that the year is interesting is because while this was kind of the peak or getting to the peak of actual arcade games before home systems like Atari, Intellivision, ColecoVision, all that would start dominating the market, and then personal computers were not far behind that, and the games that you could play on personal computers were so much more advanced than like Atari and Intellivision. But there were still so many games that were cool that came out after 82 or after this album was written, and I just wonder, would there have been, if it came out in 83 or 84, would there have been a song about Millipede instead of Centipede? Would there have been a song about Tron or Gyrus or, you know, any of these other games, Karate Champ? It really is curious. Gyrus would have been interesting because it was already a killer soundtrack using Bach's Toccata and Fugue. But yeah, so many great video games came out in 82 and after. So it is interesting if they would have done this later, which songs they would have picked. There is no song about Space Invaders, which I find interesting because it is kind of the pioneer game that really started the arcade craze. I mean, there were video games before that, but that seems to be the one where things just exploded and then Asteroids and then on. But this is kind of a Christmas album for me. When my brother and I used to do our gift exchange, when we were younger, we kind of said, well, get me this and I'll get you that and that kind of thing. And I had him get me the 45 version of Donkey Kong. Do the Donkey Kong is the name of the song. And so I would sneak into his room and bring his gifts, and he would give me mine well before Christmas, you know, like sometime early in the month of December. So I got to hear the song ahead of time, and it just always reminds me of like Christmas lights and just that Christmas vibe and staying in pajamas because we didn't have to go to school and all that. So good memories tied to this album. Pac-Man Fever, the title track, is really more of a summer song for me because that's when I got the 45 for that. But great stuff either way. It's just a fun album. I mean, not all the songs are the greatest. The production could be a little bit better, but for the most part, it's easy to listen to. It is just a fun album. Go check it out, guys. Pac-Man Fever, Buckner and Garcia. See you guys tomorrow for another album. Bye.